Yo, what's good? So I've been meaning to do this video for a while, and I've just been putting it off so much. Like, in all honesty, I've just been lazy and just have not been bothered to get around to filming. But I know a few of you guys have been waiting for this video to come out. A few of you have actually asked me personally for this kind of video. And basically, for those of you who are new and who are just come to the channel or whatever, or have come across this video, it's basically me explaining how I came about selling beats online, how I started making a living online from selling beats, you know, other musical things online, and how I quit my job and basically took that step to get where I am now. So basically, I'll start with like where I used to work. I won't name the company because that's just promo for them, and they're just nah. So basically, yeah, I used to work in retail, just doing standard, what I used to work, say like 30 hours a week, something like that. So I mean, it was part-time, but I almost had no time for my music because I'd be in work all day. I'd come home, I'd be super tired, I'd have to be up at 8 in the morning the next day. And you know, I know some of you are going through that right now and find it, you know, hard to make music. You know, trust me, I understand, I've been there. It is hard to balance work and, you know, and music at the same time, especially when you want to make something like that your career. But you have to find the balance between it. It's hard, but you will. So yeah, anyway, I was working there for about 3 years roughly. And like, you know, I never knew what I fully wanted to do with music. I knew that I wanted to do music for a living, but I never knew how. For example, like I was going back, I started doing music, you know, I started off doing dance remixes, EDM, pop music, stuff like that. Just like, you know, festival music, like, yeah, just pretty much stuff like that. And then I was delving into hip hop, bit of UK hip hop. If some of you guys are from the UK, you'll know obviously UK grime. I was doing a little bit of grime for a while. But yeah, that's basically it. That's how I started getting into it. And you know, I was switching back and forth, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Like I was saying to people around me at the time, like, yeah, you know, this month I'm gonna do hip hop. Actually, you know, I'm feeling hip hop more this month. I think I can be a hip hop producer. And then a month ago by, I do hip hop beats, and I just get completely bored of it. And I'd end up going back to making remixes of Christina Aguilera or something, you know, completely off topic for what I was, you know, for what I'm doing now. But yeah, you know, I got sick of the job, as everyone is. I can imagine all you guys are sick of your jobs now. You know, all you want to do is make a living from music, and you can do that. But you know, I took a risk. I walked in one day. I must have had like a little argument, kind of, you know, it wasn't full on arguing, but I was kind of in a mood. He was in a mood, and I, you know, thought, F it. You know, I printed out a resignation form. I signed it. I left it in his desk. I left it in his office on his desk for him to find the next day. I went to work the next day. Obviously, everyone had found out that I'm quitting, and they were all like, "What are you gonna do now? What job are you gonna get?" And I'm like, "I'm not. I'm gonna try push as hard as I can and live off music." And they were all like, "Yeah, but what's your plan B? You know, you gotta have a backup plan. You know, you can't just live off music." And in my head, I knew I wanted to at that point. But they couldn't get their head around how I was gonna do it. You know, I didn't know how I was gonna do it at the time. I just knew I wanted to. You know, none of them believed me. I know a lot of my friends and family as well. They'll know this. I say quote or whatever. I always say this to keep me kind of motivated. There was this guy working there. I won't name him. I'm not that kind of guy, you know, but. He basically, as I was just about to walk out for the first time when I was quitting my job, he said to me, "Oh, come back when you missed the big time," in like such a sarcastic manner. And like, oh, that stuck with me. Like, I'll always remember that. And now, like, I won't say where he's working again or what he's doing, but apparently, like, through a friend of a friend, I've heard he's working in some dead-end job, you know, just in the circle that I was stuck in. So. And you know, I've been fortunate enough to make a living from music, so I guess that's kind of like the first pivot point. That was the pivot point for me in music, you know, where I started making a living, is where I just quit my job. I took that risk. I suppose this can apply for like anyone really who's, you know, wanting to go into self-employment, you know, run their own business. It's all about risk taking, you know, to an extent. Obviously, you know, if you've got to pay mortgage and stuff like that, I know a few guys a lot older than me probably. You know, I'm only 22. You know, you guys got kids, and you know, you got a family, you got a wife, and you got a mortgage to pay. Like, I'm not saying go quit your job now and just, you know, just work hard and live off music. You know, if you've got priorities, they're your priorities first before music. You have to put your family and all those kind of things in front of music first, as hard as it may be. But it will pay off, you know, over time. Like, I've been making music, say, what's it coming up to now? Maybe, I know it's probably around the 8 to 9 year mark. I always tell people I'll be making beats 8 years, but I'm pretty sure it's coming up to like 9 years now. I'll have to work it out later. But yeah, and I quit my job about 4 to 5 years ago. I'll always remember that day, you know. So yeah, I'm not really sure how to do this video, so I'm just gonna kind of go with the flow. Nothing on this is planned, so I'm just kind of gonna just say what is on my mind, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, anyway, so when I quit my job about 4 to 5 years ago, I think within the first month of making beats, I must have made a maximum of $50. But like, I was super hyped. I was like, yeah, my first sale. It must have just been an MP3 release, because I didn't know how to price my beats back then. I didn't know how it all worked. I just, like, some guy just approached me like, yo, is this for sale? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, how much? I must have said like, yeah, $50 is cool. Send it through. And yeah, that was my first beat sale. I remember that. I took a picture, and it was Western Union. I took a picture of the slip and everything. I was so happy. But it was at that point that I thought, okay, yeah, I can make a living from this now. And I think it must have been the second month round. I must have made about $400. Now, this guy must have come across my website at the time. Let me just get this camera right. It's kind of balancing on my steering wheel. Yeah. So yeah, he must have come across my website, and he must have bought, like, say, I think it was like 2 exclusives. My exclusives was super cheap back then. You know, on my swap hands, just to get my arm a rest. So yeah, that was crazy. So I must have made like $450 in 1 month. On the second month after quitting my job. Like, I used to make, so obviously, you know, you guys know I'm from the UK. I used to make probably roughly £450 per month. So you're looking at maybe just over, let's say, near $600 a month. Like, every month I was living off $600. Like, there was hardly anything, man. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm grateful for everything I get, but compared to now, and you know, I had to pay a car as well. That was another thing as well, like the risk I took when I quit my job. I had a car on finance, and I had to pay that. You know, I was paying fuel bills and stuff like that, and I'm a car guy, so I was paying for all these car mods and stuff like that I didn't need to. So I quit my job with only £600 savings as well, which is about $800. So, you know, I wasn't living from much when I quit. I just kind of went for it and just did it. But it paid off. But I guess now I'll talk about kind of like how I started to kind of achieve my first sales and stuff like that. You know, I got a lot of producers like almost every day asking me, you know, how do you sell beats? How do you make money like this? You know, and stuff like that. Everyone thinks it's some big secret, and it's like, yeah, yo, what's the secret? What's the key? Like, I guess there are some keys to selling beats, like, you know, I mean, number one, your beats have to be good. Like, your beats have to be good, you know, for people to buy them. And number two, the thing I always tell people is to always be active on social media platforms. Like, okay, for example, say a rapper is looking for beats, right? And he goes onto YouTube and he's looking for beats, but you're only posting beats on Instagram. How is he gonna find you? How are you gonna get sales? You've missed out on sales because you're not on YouTube, and you well possibly could have come up, you know, in the searches when he was looking for a certain type beat. So you have to, did you see what I'm trying to say? You have to be active on all social media platforms to be seen and heard, and to increase the possibility of sales. Another example, let's say a guy is looking for beats on SoundCloud. SoundCloud's kind of like a hidden gem. I know not a lot of people they don't use SoundCloud for putting up beats. You know, I don't make many sales from SoundCloud, but I do get a couple sales from SoundCloud now and then. You know, I'll get the messages on there and stuff like that, where they'll say like, yo, how much is the lease? And you know, you follow through, like, yeah, it's $30, blah blah blah. And you know, it's because you're on another platform. If I wasn't on SoundCloud the other day when I sold that $30 lease, he probably wouldn't have found me, and I wouldn't have made that extra $30. You know, everything stacks up. So yeah, like just be active on all social media platforms. You have to be constantly posting. Like people are saying like, yo, how'd you get YouTube subscribers up? You know, I'm not claiming to be like a crazy YouTuber or anything like that. I've only got like, I say only, I have 10,053 subs today. I think I looked today, I got 10,053. I'm grateful for every single one of those, don't get me wrong, that's crazy, but that's taken me like 2 to 3 years to build up. But that's kind of like my own fault as well, that I haven't, you know, grown at a quicker rate. Because, you know, if I stayed consistent, which I tell people to do, you have to be consistent, you know, with your website, social media, everything. You have to be posting consistently. Because if you stop posting, people will soon forget about you, because there's so many other producers online. There's so many other, again, it applies to, you know, artists as well. There's so many other artists online bringing out songs and just taking over. Then, you know, you need to stay relevant, and to stay relevant, you have to be putting out consistent quality material. I'm not saying like, you know, quantity over quality, like just keep posting and posting and posting and posting. That's not what I'm saying. But, you know, keep it consistent. Say, you know, for example, YouTube, you know, 2 to 3 times a week. You know, 2 times a week is fine. I say like, and especially if you have a low subscriber count, that's perfect. If if you're posting like say 2-3 videos a day on YouTube, they're just gonna get, each one is gonna get pushed to the bottom. You're not giving each video a chance to get seen and heard and ranked and whatever. Same with the beats. I usually post maybe 2 to 3 beats every 2 to 3 days roughly. So I don't know, let's just say, my maths is probably way off, I don't know, I'm gonna say, okay, for example, this week, okay, it's Monday now, so let's just say last week, I posted about 5 beats, so it's kind of like 1 every day or 1 every other day. I don't spam too much. Don't get me wrong, if I have like a bunch of beats that I want to upload, say I have like 6-7 beats that I've just made in like 2-3 days, I'll upload them all in 1 day. But then I won't upload that, you know, after that. I'll let them sit there for a week or 2, gain some sales, gain some plays, let people know, you know, what they like. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else much to say, to be honest. There's nothing I can really, the whole point of this video was basically just me explaining my story to you guys. You know, me quitting my job and then kind of like just, it's just the whole taking the risk kind of factor, you know. I took the risk and it paid off, you know, but it only paid off because I was working. You know, a lot of you guys look up to bigger producers, you know, a lot of you guys look up to me, and that's crazy. That's insane. That's one of the things that keeps me going as well, that I have so many people that like look up to me, and I've done this myself. Like, I always say this to my family, my girlfriend, my friends and stuff like that, like, that I'm just me. Like, I see myself as just me. Like, I just make beats, that's it. But like, you know, whatever I'm doing, I'm obviously doing something good because you guys are looking up to me, and you know, like, you give me all this support. It's crazy. That's the whole point of this video, really. That's all I really wanted to get across. I guess I'm just trying to say, like, it takes work. Like, nothing's gonna happen overnight, you know. But you know, as long as you guys are working, you work hard. You know, I've been working 8 years. You know, for the whole 8 years, you know, I never knew I was gonna make music for a living. I never knew I was gonna, you know, make money from it. So that was never the mindset. I never had that mindset until about 4 or 5 years ago, when I did quit my job and thought, yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's just make this a living. I can do this, you know. But I've always been working. I've always had a fan base because I've always been active on social media. I've always been pushing myself. You know, I've always shared my music. So yeah, I'm just kind of getting lost in my own head right now. Just jumbling on, rambling on. I mean, I hope this was kind of helpful. You know, leave a like, a comment if you support me and whatever. If you want to see some more videos like this, cool. Like, I actually enjoyed filming this for you guys. So yeah, it was pretty fun to record it. If there's anything else you guys want me to kind of cover in videos and whatever, you know, Q&As, I'd probably be interested in doing one of those if you want to hear one. I may do some more beat making videos soon. I'm not too sure yet, but I'll probably do another one within the next week or 2. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, or whoever tuned in or whatever. So yeah, see you soon.